And so as we're getting ourselves started this morning, the intention that we're focusing on today is the idea of vulnerability. It's funny how little we think about it until something comes up, perhaps that we're embarrassed about. For instance, there's somebody I was chatting with recently who got a staph infection, and so now all of a sudden she has all these scars all around her legs that she never was self-conscious of her legs. She never gave her legs a second thought previously. And now all of a sudden she's very self-conscious. And it's this idea, when those self-conscious moments come up, it's like a fork in the road. We can either choose, I'm going to be embarrassed, I'm going to hide, I'm going to curl into my shell, or we can choose the opposite. I'm going to be open and beautiful in my imperfections. I'm going to be exactly true to who I am, regardless of whether anybody else judges me, thinks the way that I think about me, or any other number of things. It's starting to get to this point where through vulnerability, we realize that we're the ones that feed any stressful energy toward others. We're the ones that give them the ability to choose how we feel. And so just opening up ourselves to this idea of vulnerability. So it's opening up some of our muscle groups that are a little bit tighter, some of the places where we normally protect ourselves, like in the rib cage, the side ribs, the heart area, getting all sorts of things like this to open up for us so that we can expose our heart, expose our body, just open ourselves up to all sorts of beautiful new experiences for us. And so this will be the idea that leads us into the class today. Let that idea of vulnerability rest in the back of your mind. And as you travel through class, perhaps there's little insights that you'll gain regarding ways that you can be more vulnerable. Let yourself shine where maybe you just want to hide. And so that's the idea to keep in the mind. So with that idea to get us started, let's take some nice initial stretches. We start off here with the arms going all the way to the back wall. And then we start moving the arms really far right and left. It's like we're forming the shape of a banana to each side. So this is one of those vulnerable areas. Our arms are meant to be at our sides biologically to kind of add one layer of protection around our heart. So opening up ourselves to each side like this is very vulnerable. But feel how good it is to stretch through the shoulders like this and stretch those side ribs, allowing the breath to ultimately flow even better because the ribs are more open. Maybe one more time to each side. And then back through the center. Let's bring our right knee into the chest. We're clasping our hands around the knee, maybe doing a few ankle rolls, maybe working on that hip flexor, getting it close into the chest. Whatever it is that's opening up tight areas for our body. And then start to work this right leg straight up to the sky. Hands grab onto the back side of the leg, helping it to get a nice, almost like a first splits stretch. Another beautiful inhale. And then exhale, setting up for a pigeon pose. This right ankle hooks on that back left part of the fabric. Once the ankle's hooked, we can start sliding the shin in, close to the heart, bringing us into that right hip opening. Tend to store tough emotions in the hips, so this can be another vulnerable spot, getting into some of those deep emotions as we're just holding a stretch for a little while. Doing another good inhale. And exhale, start to release the right leg. Maybe give it another tug up to the sky before you drop it all the way down. Second knee into the chest. Give it a few little ankle rolls or just hug it tightly. And start to stretch it up to the sky. Hands help it for that hamstring stretch. Another good breath in. And a nice exhale to hook the left toe in the back right part. Slide the shin in. Hips opening up super nicely. Another huge breath cycle. In. And even longer out. Free up the ankle, a little tug of the foot up to the sky. And then when we drop this ankle down, leave the legs straight inside the fabric. Hands grip on so we can sit up, stack pose. And then let's take a back bend. Fabric can go as far down as the backside of the pat line, or it can go a bit higher. Hands gripping on as we start to head over backwards. You can let go if you wish. Just feel how the body wants to open right here. Now always, with my inversions, we're only staying as long as it feels good for you, so don't feel like there's any pressure to stay as long as anybody else. That's like that vulnerability aspect we're talking about. Sometimes we're vulnerable in that we do need to come out before others. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that we're connecting with our body. When we are ready to come up, we'll stretch over our two straight legs so that our spine gets to reverse, decompress from the stretch that it just got. Helping us release any bits of vulnerability that we have right now, let's take 3 lion's breaths. We inhale with the chin low. When we exhale, we lift the head up and we stick out our tongue, just letting it all go. Yeah, let's do 3 of those. So inhale. Good. After we finish all 3, we're going to start heading in toward a vampire pose. So the fabric that's behind you, bring it up to cover the top of the shoulder, not too much, just enough to be safe. And then all our excess needs to work its way down for the feet. We do want a little blanket covering that part of the shins, or higher if you can. It doesn't have to be super high. But make sure you do have enough on your shoulders to be safe. Off the back, your hands are grabbing just a comfortable grip on each side, left and right. Once you're there, feet come up. Press them out into each side to rise upside down. Let's give ourselves a couple of breaths, trying to stack the spine upright, nice and tall. Try to relax the shoulders. And experience the vulnerability here. Like we are totally exposed if somebody were to come up to us. but yet the vulnerability here is what makes it feel so good. From here, see if you can work with balance. The hips need to go slightly behind you as the toes start to pike in front of you. Trying to work with balance the whole time. Eventually you'll reach a spot where the toes grab down into the fabric. So once you reach that spot, let's flatten out into an upside down plank. Using our core, 2 more breaths. And then free out the right foot to step down onto the ground. Once you step down, we're transferring our weight backwards into a splits. If you want more than what you're getting to right now, just hop your bottom foot forward a little bit, and then we get that chance to go even deeper backwards. Feeling all sorts of vulnerable spots here, spots that aren't usually stretched this deeply, but yet our joints are so supported in this. It's like having supportive family members when you have vulnerable things. It's nice to have that support system. So 3 more good breaths right here. You hopped your foot forward, bring it back underneath your hips, and then smoothly step right foot into the little pocket. Maybe take a couple of breaths, flattening back out to the plank. And when you're ready, left foot down. Once again, maybe you hop forward before you start sinking your weight back. It's whatever's working for you. Oh my god. So if you can hop underneath and kind of stand up a little bit. Enough that you can, yeah, there you go. Got it. Go 2 more breaths. Bottom foot comes under our hips. We step up into our pocket. And then play around for a little while. If you want to create a pike, that's okay. If you want to come back up to vampire, that's okay. A couple more variations. Whatever's working for you for as long as you wish to remain in vampire. Some people will be here longer, some people shorter. No pressure. As we're heading back down to lay down, you're taking a few breaths, making sure your blood pressure feels really good, really regulated, coming back to normal again. Wait until you definitely feel like everything with that blood pressure is okay. Only when you're good, you can start sitting up, but no rush at all. Beautiful. So from here, let's take a nice little twist. Yeah, if you need a couple more breaths to still feel okay, now that we're actually sitting up, take a moment. We're gonna take a nice little twist. So bunch up the fabric toward the side that faces you away from me. So it's gonna be different. Some of you will lay left, some of you will be right. But the way that gets you to face away from me, bunch up the fabric there. And then take the shoulder that's toward the back of your mat and open up that hand all the way to the back. If you'd like to take that hand and circle it around the back side of the head, rubbing onto the fabric there, that's fine as well. Let the neck be part of the stretch. And release from this side, bunch up the other. And take that second arm to the back of your mat. Maybe circling around the head. Another inhale. And exhale, both hands grab onto the side of the fabric, lock the arms straight. That hip that just lifted, get that leg up and over. So because we did vampire, we're not in the center of our fabric anymore. So as we're taking our heels in, we do want to readjust to be centered again. So get both of your feet set properly. Whether or not the legs are straight doesn't matter quite yet. But once you've got the feet set pretty well, grab super high in front of you, lift up the hips, and then when you straighten the legs out and set back down, you'll be back to that proper ring thread right in the center. So once you're there, hands help to press the legs wide. Keeping the legs muscularly wide on their own, slide the right hand down the right leg. Left hand circles up and over toward those right toes. And rising up. Stretch over to the second side, slide left hand down. This means the right leg is not just collapsing in, it's still muscularly trying to go wide. Right hand can be up and over. Okay, rising up to sit. Bring both feet in close to the glutes. Our knees are popping outside of the edges of the fabric. We're gripping up super high on the fabric that's in front of us and coming to a little plie, the nice little bow squat. Knees pop all the way out. Good. So let's go 5 little squats up and down. So grip up super high and then try to keep the feet more or less squeezed in rather than kind of going super wide. So squeezed in and then just press into the feet to rise up and plie back down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now get yourself to face toward the mirror, so toward the top of your mat. You need to free out the back shoulder, so that way you can grip onto the fabric both sides. You can be gripping from behind or gripping from in front as we start to head toward the splits. Try to keep the hips square toward the front. Yeah, usually you don't want to readjust the feet once you're in. Yeah. So if you need to come sitting all the way down and readjust, that's okay. Yeah, once you kind of step, yeah. drop the back knee down so we can take a half split. Sometimes this one's even deeper when we're still building up the flexibility. So front leg goes straight, hands drop down, trying to stretch for that front leg. And let's turn this directly into pigeon. So that front foot continues to swivel out so that the knee can settle down into the belly as well. And then front leg forward, back leg back. Maybe free out the shoulder that's closer to the toes. Drop your weight onto that front hip to open back up to start that wide figure V shape. We'll come to prep to stand for the second side, so make sure feet are all the way in. We slide the feet close to the glutes, pop the knees out, come to the little low plie, stand directly up. Don't readjust the feet from here. Now face to the back of your mat. Again, you can grip from behind or you can grip from in front. The elbows pointing forward, thumbs down grip, and then take that split, whichever variation you have. One more full breath cycle. And then drop onto the back knee, half split, slide the hands on that front straight. And pigeon pose. So looking up to the side, head the hips forward. Sometimes I'll stay all the way inside to make it more of a human pigeon, or you can free out that shoulder, the arm that's closer to the toes. And rock onto your front hip, swivel back open. Arms press the legs even wider. Beautiful. Let's start to free our legs out. We're facing back forward, so take your back leg to the front. And as we're heading out, you can either head out the normal way, just pop out the front, or grip on tight, lift the feet up, and flip over the back edge. Beautiful. Grip on tight, yeah. Beautiful. Okay, let's have the fabric in front of us. We'll grip on about as wide as shoulders. And let's just start to lean forward. Let's take 3 cat-cows, round the spine up. And then flatten back down, continue to drop the belly down, gaze up. And 2, exhale. Inhale. And 1. Good, going back to flat. Sway all the way over to the right side. Dropping the right elbow down. Again, we get that vulnerable stretch through those side ribs. Straighten back forward, sway over to the second side. The left elbow is dropping down. And straightening all the way back forward. Come to stand on your left foot. Your right leg kicks back, warrior three. Find this nice balance. From warrior three, take the right knee to the nose and straight back out, warrior three. See if you can lift higher. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Take that right foot, just step on the ground in front of us. Flatten back out forward like pyramid pose. Front leg's really trying to straighten out. And then start to bend the right elbow. We're leaning the rest of our body toward that right side. Straighten the arms forward and then continue to sway to that left side. Rotate on the heels. We're pointing the toes to that left long edge of the mat. Beautiful. Return forward. Slide the right foot back. If you need to wiggle your fingers at all, this is a good opportunity to start resetting the hands. And when you're ready for second side, start to swivel that left leg all the way back. Knee to the nose. And back. Go nice and slow so the back is okay with all of this. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Step that foot, the left one's higher up. Hips are still facing forward as we lean forward, pyramid. And start to drop the left elbow down, swing the rest of the body to the left side. Straighten forward, continue to pivot on the heels until we're facing that right long edge. Good. Return forward, slide the left foot back, then the knees roll up. Downward facing dog. Let's take the fabric to our hip bones. Make sure it doesn't rise up to the flesh. Maybe one step forward or so to help us lean forward. Bending at the hips, dropping the hands down. A few steps backwards will bring our hips back under plumb line. Hands and feet push into the ground. Hips are lifting super high. Let's go for standing splits. So our right leg goes wide first so that the toes catch the outside of the fabric. You bend and catch. Maybe you can straighten up. If you still need more, back foot can hop forward and hands walk backwards a little bit. Another breath on this side. And then the bottom foot slides back. The top knee bends. Release the right foot down. Left leg goes wide so that you catch the outside. Maybe straighten the leg up. Maybe the bottom toe slide up a little bit. And that right foot slides back, left knee bends, send the left toes down. You can either stay with downward facing dog a little bit longer or go for a hip hang, bending the knees, hug around the shins. Keep the knees pointed all the way down to the ground. Maybe 3 more breaths here. And then toes go back to the ground, hands go to the ground. Walk your feet up and to the point where they can be flat. And then we're in a nice standing forward fold. Bend the knees. Roll the spine up to stand. And let's take our nice restorative pose. Making sure we've got enough blood in our head. Just lean back in the fabric. Stargazer, hands hold the head. Just lean back. Yeah, you can face either way. Go with the group. No vulnerability here. Just kidding. When it feels like it's safe to stand, feel free to start walking backwards until you're on your own legs again. Okay, if we're feeling okay, let's face back to the front. And let's take our right leg into the fabric, right at the ankle area. So first, a nice little twist. Your left hand grabs the right strand of fabric or pushes along the outside of both. The right arm opens up behind. See if that front leg can cross past the midline off that left side, helping you get exposed into the IT band area, a place that's notorious for lots of tension. Okay, returning forward, grab onto each strand with each hand. You can either simply slide the hands down to get into the hamstring, or slide the hands up to take a splits forward. Come back up to stand on your standing leg. Slip the fabric down to the arch of that right foot. Let's do 5 lifts. So hands can reach nice and high. If the knee's bent, it'll be more about the arms helping you. If the leg is straight, it's more about, the leg will help you if it's bent. The leg straight is more of arms doing the work. So 5 times up and down, whichever variation you'd like right now. Exhale, rise. Inhale down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now let's be vulnerable through that arch of the foot in our nice tree pose. So this time, just do a nice slow controlled rise up so we're not rocking so much. The left thigh needs to wrap around the front, and then the left shoulder needs to come forward and through. So it's the side that doesn't feel right, it's the left one. When you get there, maybe the foot goes higher, maybe hands at the heart. Try to breathe into whatever is happening on that standing foot. Try to go 3 more breaths. Okay, so grip on each hand, left shoulder's back behind. Unwind this left leg, kicking it through. You're gripping on tight. When you pull up, you're tucking the right toes and lowering yourself down in front of the mat. Good, so we got the right foot caught from behind. Sometimes it's nice to just have that relief after the tree pose. Let's take a quad stretch. So just gripping over each shoulder, simply lean backward into the fabric. The more the knee points down, the more you feel it. Okay, raising up. We're gonna go for 5 lunges. If you can release, you're gonna have hands at your heart to start. If you can't release, you're gripping from underneath instead. So then when we kick back, the arms swing open. Nice lunge, both knees bent. And squeeze it all to rise. So it's really leg strength that brings us up. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Plant the hands down on the ground, both legs go straight. Walking the hands backwards is another split. Okay, hands walk up to the top of the mat. Try to step into plank position, both feet in the fabric. If that's not working, have this left knee just working up and down. Eventually, when you need to come down from the plank, it'll be left knee down, pigeon pose. Keep on breathing until you're down. Good work. Lowering to elbows. One more good breath in. Exhale, gently drop this knee down. We're up at hands and knees. Maybe cat-cow is feeling good for that spine, or maybe huge hip circles. Okay. As we're gonna come up to stand, we're gonna try to come up through a wheel pose. So this is another very vulnerable back bend. So you grip up on the fabric, just however high your arms can reach. Your feet are planted, and you start, just go nice and slow. So start to lift the hips up. We're continuing to rise into a nice back bend. And then bend the elbows to help you continue to rise until you're all the way up to stand. Whew, good work. Back up to your under plumb line, left ankle in. The leg tries to go straight. We're taking the twist. Right hand grabs left side, or right arm pushes along the outside of both. Left arm opens. And start to return. This is the point you can either just slide the hands down or take the splits forward. coming back. Slide the fabric under the foot. We've got the pull-ups, bent knee, or straight leg, depending on arm or leg strength, whatever we're working on. What's our vulnerable spot today? Going for 5, remember to breathe through them. So exhale up, inhale down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Have the knee bent so we can do a very controlled rise up for tree. Wind the right foot around and then right shoulder moves forward. Maybe the foot slides higher. Couple of breaths into this foot. What's going on here? Another huge inhale, lots of breath flowing in. Exhale, start to grab on from behind. Free the right leg to kick forward. Grab on, we're doing a little pull-up. Tuck the left toes, slowly lower down in front. Yeah. Okay, just grab over each shoulder, lean back, quad stretch. Okay, come up to stand. We've got the 5 lunges, so if you can balance, hands are at the heart. The arms swing open as we kick back and squeeze the legs. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Splits. Hands drop down, both legs go straight. See if hands can walk backwards a little bit. Okay, walking up, hands are at the top of the mat. Another chance to be in plank. Maybe this time you're bringing the knees in and shooting the toes back. Keep the breath going if you're doing that one. Good, yep, right side down. When you're ready, no rush. We're here. I know. Gee, no shocks, no shocks. I know, right? So pressured into it. Take another good breath, pulling it in. And then heading down, just a simple child's pose. Feel that back, give a nice chance to simply rest forward. Let's walk our arms off the left edge of the mat, just however far you can reach. And up to the other side. And back to the center, 2 more breaths. And then start to rise up. And we've got enough time here for one more inversion. So I'll let you guys choose your favorite. It could be one we've done already, the vampire, the hip hang. It could be something else if you have a different favorite you'd love to work on today. Go ahead and head on into it. And this will be as long as you want it to be. When you're ready to head out, you'll feel free to go just toward your Shavasana pose. See if you can slide your hands a little bit closer. I think that'll be easier so you don't have to jump away so high. Oh, so close, so close. Next try and you'll get it. I like how you have to do a thumbs down for it to be thumbs up for us. You're like, you're getting it. Yeah, so close, so close. Yes. Begin to let yourself deepen the inhales and the exhales. Starting to introduce movements to the body. Maybe you're stretching the arms to the back wall, moving shoulders right and left a few times. Maybe you're taking a fetal position to each side, curling in and arcing back 3 or 4 times each. Keep on going until the body feels balanced. You feel pretty stretched. You feel like you're eventually ready to come up to a nice, comfortable seated position. As hands join together in front of the heart, we reconnect with our idea of vulnerability. We think of any poses, any moments where we experienced vulnerabilities in our own bodies today. And we're grateful for those moments because that vulnerability brings us back almost to that beginner's mindset. And it helps us to be more aware of this beautiful vessel that we're working through, our body, working with our body in our life. And we tune into any little intuitive hits regarding vulnerability that we may take into the rest of this day and into this week. And so with all these ideas to help lead us onward, let's wrap up this time we got to share together with the sound of Om. Taking a deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.
Namaste.